breaking news that's coming in. The Congress leader and former State Minister Shivakumar has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi. DKS was accused in the money laundering case. He was being questioned by the agency from Friday last week. Shivakumar and his party, the Congress, have been calling the probe a political vendetta. Remember, Shivakumar has a reputation of being the Congress troubleshooter, and this case is actually drawn out. It also, from what we understand, may have links to Siddhartha Hegde of Coffee Day, who committed suicide about a month or so ago. Now, Shivakumar has maintained before the press that he has nothing to hide, but the ED has been, quite clear about the fact that they had enough reason to hold him, to actually question him for several days. Meenakshi joins us right now. Meenakshi, what can you tell us about the charges on which Shivakumar has been arrested?
Well, yes, it's quite interesting, and remember, it all will be subject to a lot of judicial vetting and approval and scrutiny going forward. But for now, the ED clearly believes it has enough grounds to arrest Mr. Shivakumar over what it claims unaccounted for alleged rupees 429 crores wealth, which the agency claims is directly attributable to him. Remember, the agency has questioned Shivakumar for the past 4 days for a collective duration of about 7 to 8 hours, and despite that, the agency clearly is dissatisfied. Sources have indicated that the agency is again relying upon the grounds of purported evasiveness and non-cooperation on the part of Mr. Shivakumar. And as we speak today, apart from Randeep Singh Surjewala's reaction yesterday, the Congress party has again articulated a response, clearly slamming this move by the agency, terming it as political witch hunt. And the arrest has happened, and Shivakumar will be formally presented before the magistrate tomorrow, and that is when the ED will really reveal the contours of its case while seeking custody for Mr. Shivakumar.
All right, Meenakshi. So, Meenakshi bringing us an update there. Meenakshi, will he be presented before a court tomorrow? Meenakshi? We seem to have lost that connection, but let's just listen in to that. Let's see if he's saying anything. Obviously, Congress supporters there who are shouting slogans at that point. You could see Shivakumar being gotten into that car, but he did, of course, stand on top of the, the floorboard of the car and gesture to all of his supporters. There is a fair amount of commotion. That's live footage coming in from New Delhi, where Shivakumar has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Malvika Avinash of the BJP in Karnataka joins me on the phone line right now. Ms. Avinash, good evening. Thank you for joining us. So, the Congress is calling this political vendetta. Shivakumar, who was questioned starting Friday until today, has been arrested. What is your response to that, to the Congress's allegations and to the arrest that we are picking up right now?
Let me tell you one thing, that you have been following the Shivakumar story as much as the entire nation has been. You are aware of the manner in which the income tax authorities reached his doorstep 2 years ago when he had, hoarded all those MLAs from Gujarat and were keeping them captive ahead of the Rajya Sabha elections. So this is not something that has, hit him out of the blue. This is a process that has been followed. The tax authorities reached him, found assets disproportionate to known sources of income. There are multiple cases. Now it's the ED matter, which involves money laundering. Everyone is aware of how much money was found stashed in homes of people that work for him, that are his friends. And let me also tell you that as somebody who's from Karnataka, I can tell you for a fact that with each election, when assets are declared, his assets seem to multiply 3 times to 4 times. How
Yes.
is it? He's a professional politician. How is it? When does he find the time to multiply his assets in the manner in which he has? So obviously the tax authorities have found something that is not, that doesn't seem legitimate, and therefore this action has been taken. If it is indeed vendetta politics, then everyone in this country has a right to go to court. Why hasn't he gone to court so far? Against all of the action that has been taken against him, if he found it to be bad, it is. You don't shoot the messenger, do you? You cannot shoot the income tax authorities because they are doing their job and they cannot do anything out of.
In fact, I have Priyank Karage on the phone line with us right now. He's, from the Congress. Priyank Karage, thank you for joining us. You heard Malvika Avinash just say that, she believes, in her personal opinion, that DK Shivakumar has several cases against him and his personal assets should be brought into question, and that has led to this arrest. Your response, Priyank?
Yeah, I think this is a classic case of a witch hunt by the government, and this is slowly becoming a standard operating procedure for the entire country. I mean, this is becoming a thing like either you are with us or against us kind of thing. And I think the ED has used a clause saying that no, he's not cooperating. I don't know what they mean by that. It's been like 4 days he's been there. Even during the festival he was there. And I don't know what exactly the definition of non-cooperation means by the ED. But I think it's a clear case of witch hunting. It's a diversionary tactic by the government. And moreover, I think what I really don't understand is these cases seem to be strengthened when you're in the opposition, and these cases miraculously disappear when you join the BJP. So it's just a pressure tactic. See, what happened to Mr. Mukul Roy's case, what happened to Mr. Biswas's case, and in our own state, there are people who were caught bribing the judges. What happened to the CBI cases or the mining CBI cases which are there? So I don't know. I mean, this is nothing but a classic case of pure witch hunt. And
In fact, Randeep Surjewala is making a statement right now. Let's listen in.
वो चाहे स्टील हो, चाहे उर्वरक हो, चाहे ऑटोमोबाइल हो, चाहे टेक्सटाइल हो, चाहे रिफाइनरी हो, हर चीज बेरोजगारी की मार से जूझ रही है। इन सब से ध्यान भटकाने के लिए, देश का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए आए दिन कांग्रेस के नेताओं पर झूठे और बदले की भावना से प्रेरित मुकदमे बनाए जा रहे हैं। डीके शिवकुमार जी की गिरफ्तारी भी बदले की आग से धधकती हुई भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ऐसी ही कार्यवाही है। पर वो ये जान लें कि डूबती हुई अर्थव्यवस्था, डूबता हुआ रुपया, जाते हुए रोजगार और पूरे देश में जो आर्थिक आपातकाल के हालात हैं, उन पर पर्दा डालने के लिए इस प्रकार के कुकृत्यों से वो कभी बच नहीं पाएंगे। जनता जवाब अवश्य मांगेगी और भाजपा सरकार को जवाब देना पड़ेगा। डीके शिवकुमार जी निर्दोष हैं, निर्दोष थे। उनके खिलाफ बगैर किसी सबूत के एक बदले की भावना से बदला लेने के लिए कार्यवाही की जा रही है, हम अदालत में और जनता की अदालत में।
All right, Randeep Surjewala there, the spokesperson of the Congress party, basically, saying that DK Shivakumar is absolutely innocent and there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Surjewala is in no position to know that. But to give you an update, you'll remember about a year ago was when DK Shivakumar's residences in Bangalore were raided. There was an accusation of unexplained wealth, cash in his home. There were cases registered by the Income Tax Department that went to the Enforcement Directorate. That's the case that it's developed. Then there were also talks after Siddharth Hegde's suicide that there were links between some of the unexplained money and Siddharth Hegde of Coffee Day. And this is what it has come to. DK Shivakumar on your screen about 15 minutes to half an hour ago, being taken into custody of the Enforcement Directorate. He has been arrested, and we'll bring you more updates of that, of when he will be presented before a court, because they will have to, of course, one assumes, ask for his custody even further. So DK Shivakumar being taken into custody as well. That's the latest update we have for you on that story, but we'll come back to it if there's any development. In the meantime, to give you an update of what else is going on today. It was the worst crash for the stock market this year. Both the Nifty and the Sensex fell more than 2%, with the Sensex dropping nearly 800 points, the Nifty falling 225 points. Now, this was perhaps a reaction to the August vehicle sales data that came in across auto companies that show that this is perhaps, like I told you last night, the worst slowdown in the auto sector in its history. 8 core sectors also of the manufacturing side of our economy put out their numbers yesterday. Sectors like electricity, steel, cement, coal, among others, that have reported massive slowdown and shown growth of only 2.7% in July. Meanwhile, the impact of the economic slowdown is being felt across the board, but worst of all, among the poorest, among the daily wage laborers. Mirror Rao's ground reports show the effect of that slowdown. How my colleague Ayushman visited a labor chowk in Noida, where daily wage laborers gather to get employed every day. They say in the last 3 months, they've hardly been able to get any work. They, in fact, get no more than 8 or 9 days of work in the entire month. They're currently having trouble putting food on the table and feeding their children. This is a very, very pertinent report that Ayushman has filed. Take a look at it.
A lot has been talked about the slowdown in the economy and the automobile sector, where people have lost their jobs. But we are here in RK Puram at a labor chowk to talk to a few of the laborers to know as to what is the situation, how much of the work they are getting, and what is the current situation right now, and how long have they been getting the jobs, and what is the situation currently with them. We'll talk to a few of the laborers who are here since the morning, and they are awaiting for somebody so that they can get a job, so that they can be paid for the day.
काम की तो ऐसा ही चल रही है, मतलब दो चार दिन में एक आध दिन मिल जाता है काम, बाकी तो ऐसे सारे दिन बैठे रहते हैं।
काम की स्थिति सर बहुत डाउन हो रही है। 3 महीने से बिल्कुल मुझे सिर्फ 8 दिन काम किया है।
3 महीने में आपने 8 दिन काम किया है। कितना पैसा मिलता है आपको?
450 रुपये मिलता है। कभी 450 मिल जाता है, कभी 400 मिल जाता है।
तो आपने इस पूरे 3 महीने में सिर्फ 8 दिन काम
किया है सर।
अभी क्या स्थिति है?
अभी स्थिति बहुत डाउन चल रही है सर। बच्चों को क्या खिलाएं? क्या बच्चों को पाल सकते हैं सर इस स्थिति से?
काम ऐसा है नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। यहाँ पर जो एक हफ्ते में 1 दिन काम लेगा, तो क्या हो रहा है?
कितना पैसा मिलता है आपको?
400 रुपये मिलता है खाली।
कितना काम मिला अभी तक?
1 दिन काम मिला 1 हफ्ते में।
1 हफ्ते में
1 दिन काम लगा है। क्या होगा उससे? 1 हफ्ते में 1 दिन काम लगेगा तो
ना क्या है, काम नहीं है तो इनके पास, जब ठेकेदारों के पास काम नहीं है तो इनको काम कहाँ से मिलेगा?
आप ठेकेदार हैं?
हाँ।
तो क्या स्थिति है ठेकेदारों की? क्या स्थिति है?
बहुत डामाडोल है यार, काफी टाइम से। ये तो 3 महीने से कुछ बढ़ गई है, उससे पहले काम चल रहा था, लेकिन अब बहुत डामाडोल है।
हम लोग सुनते हैं कि काफी सेक्टर्स में नौकरियां जा रही हैं लोगों की।
अभी जैसे टाटा है हमारी, जमशेदपुर टाटा, वहाँ की 1 लाख नौकरी चली गई।
अच्छा।
और मारुति की 50,000 के करीब चली गई।
तो अब ये वो वर्कर्स हैं जो आप ठेकेदार हैं, तो ये वर्कर्स आप लोगों के नीचे काम करते हैं, फिर कैसे इनका घर कैसे चलता है? फिर
कहाँ से चलेगा? अब 8 झाड़ी लगी, 8 चौक 32 हो गए। 3,000 या 4,000 रुपए में आदमी के 3 महीने कैसे चलेंगे बताओ? किस तरह गुजारा करेगा आदमी?
2-3 महीने हो गए, 4 महीने करा था यहाँ कंपनी में धागा कटिंग। अब उन्होंने बोल दी कि जाओ आराम करो, काम नहीं है, या गांव घूमे आओ।
जो आपको 10 दिन पे काम मिल रहा है, 12 दिन पे काम मिल रहा है, इस काम में आपको कितना पैसा मिल पाता है 10 दिन 12 दिन पे?
सर आप लगा लो कि 10 दिन में इसमें मिलेगा तो लगा लो कि 2,000 2,500 ऐसे ही बन पाता है सर।
अच्छा।
सर
तो लेकिन पूरे 3 महीने में आपको 10 दिन का काम मिला?
जी जी,
यही हालत?
ये 3 महीने से जब बिल्कुल डमाडोल है सर ये
3 महीने से?
हाँ जी।
So this is the situation at the labor chalk in RK Puram, where the workers say that for the past 3 months, this situation has deteriorated and they have got only work for about 7 to 10 days in past 3 months, and they are finding it difficult to live their livelihood. With camera person Mukesh, Ayushman Kumar for Mirror Now.
In fact, here's a story of Ram Singh, a textile worker who lost his job, and now he and his family are struggling to put food on the table.
I'm being joined by one of the person who lost his job in the factory and is now searching for job at labor chalk. राम जी, क्या हालत है अभी? फैक्ट्री में आप काम करते थे, फैक्ट्री से कैसे जॉब गई और अभी क्या कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में बताइए।
सर अभी कंपनियों में काम कम आ रहा है। हाँ। और पहले हमारी कंपनी में सारा फ्लोर चल रहा था, सारी मशीनें चलती थी।
क्या काम करते थे?
हम उसमें हेल्पर का काम करते थे। हाँ। और सिलाई की मशीनें चलती थी। हाँ। तो अब सिलाई की मशीनें ही कम हो गई हैं, केवल एक लाइन चलती है, एक लाइन चलती है, और इसकी वजह से हमें वहाँ से निकाल दिया गया। जब काम हर कंपनी में ही काम कम है तो इसमें भी काम कम है, और बताते ऊपर से काम कम आ रहा था। जब काम ज़्यादा था तो हमें नाइट भी लगती थी, खूब काम भी मिलता था। अब इस वक्त काम है नहीं किसी कंपनी में। अच्छा। इसलिए जब कंपनी से निकाल दिया तो हमें लेबर चौक जाना पड़ा।
लेबर चौक में आप जब बता रहे हैं कि आप लेबर चौक जाते थे, क्या स्थिति है लेबर चौक पे? कितना काम मिला है जितने दिन आप गए हैं? क्या हुआ है वहाँ पे?
लेबर चौक पे 8-9 दिन में केवल हमें 2 दिन काम मिला है, केवल 2 दिन काम मिला, और काम मिला ही नहीं है। 30 रुपये घर से बर्बाद करके चले जाते हैं, काम नहीं मिलता है वहाँ पर। सारे हम जो लोग सारे इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं, पूरे दिन लेबर वहाँ से चलती रहती है, कोई 200 रुपये में, कोई 100 रुपये में, कोई सुबह सुबह चला जाता है, वो 300-400 रुपये में चला जाता है। जैसा जिसको काम मिलता है वैसे चला जाता है वहाँ पे। अब काम वाला ही नहीं आता जो कोई काम कराने आए वहाँ पे।
आप जिस टेक्सटाइल फैक्ट्री में काम करते थे, कपड़ों की फैक्ट्री में काम करते थे, वहाँ की क्या हालत है? क्या वहाँ हायरिंग हो रही है, या वहाँ लोगों को लिया जा रहा है, या वहाँ से भी लोगों को हटाया जा रहा है?
वहाँ से भी हटाया जा रहा है लोगों को। वहाँ से भी हमारे देखते देखते वहाँ से कम 25% लोग काम कर रहे हैं, 75% हटा दिया गया वहाँ से वर्कर को।
और इसका रीज़न क्या दिया गया?
केवल बाहर से काम नहीं आ रहा है। बाहर से अगर काम आए तो वर्कर को रखेंगे, जब बाहर से काम ही नहीं तो वर्कर को बिठाल के क्या करेंगे?
अभी जब 8 दिनों से आपके यहाँ काम नहीं मिल रहा, आपको लेबर चौक पे भी आप काम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो फिर जीवन चलाने में कितनी मुश्किल हो रही है?
अब ये तो सर पहले कुछ पैसा कर लिया था, अब वो पैसा खर्च हो रहा है। किसी काम के लिए जोड़ के रखा था, अब वो खर्च हो रहा है, खाने में खर्च हो जाएगा, फिर उम्मीदों के सारे फिर काम करेंगे।
That's the actual human story behind the slowdown. The slowdown could be data and numbers and paperwork when we talk about it with economists and with government and representatives of the government. But there are real human beings who come out onto the chalks every morning looking for work. And if they're only getting 8 days of work in 3 months, then we have to really worry about what they're going to manage to put on the table for their children. Professor Arun Kumar, Chair Professor of the Indian Institute of Social Sciences and a senior economist, joins us right now in this conversation. So does Viren Shah with the Federation of Retail Traders Welfare Association. Anand Gurumurthy, spokesperson of the BJP. Ajay Dua, former Commerce Secretary. We also have Bal Malkit Singh, the chairperson of the Core Committee and former president of the AIMTC, representing the Transporters Association. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. You've heard the voices from the labour chalk, from the daily wage and from the factory workers. But I also want to understand what the other sectors are going through at this point. Mr. Malkit Singh, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Could you tell us at this point what the Truckers Association is experiencing? How many people
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead. How many people have you managed to keep employed?
Good evening. Thank you. The story of the recession and the ground level reality in the Ashuman report and the Ram Singh is clearly stating what are the ground realities. Economy recession is inching toward an anarchist situation. Situation is getting bad to worse day by day. There is the slowdown in the every sector which was seen long back but was conveniently ignored. As you stated that road transport sector is the lifeline of the economy. Just the blood flows in the body the body keeps on moving. And if the blood stops moving, the body collapses. Similarly, our chakka moves, the economy moves. Our chakka moves at a faster pace, the economy moves at a faster pace. But now the situation is that slowly and slowly our chakka is stopped moving. 15 crore people are associated with this trait, and there is a 50% decline in the fleet utilization. 40% is the NPI in our sector. 30 lakh is the job losses in our sector. Many of our small road transport operator, which constitute 85% of this industry, that is from 1 vehicle to the 5 vehicle, which are the common man, have gone bankrupt, 40% NPA, and they are surviving their livelihood on the saving. But now the thing is that how long they will be survived on their saving. The government, on the other hand, is not serious to the road transport sector, and the auto sector is being pushed up, and as there is no demand at all. In future also, the road transport sector has taken the decision that there will be no fresh buying of the vehicle for the next 6 months, transport and non-transport. And we see that the future is very bleak for the common man. The sentiments are very low in the rural India and the urban India, and the demand is very low, which is not good sign for the economy.
Mr. Singh, stay with us because we also have a member of the Traders Association on the show. Mr. Viren Shah is with us right now, the Retail Traders Welfare Association. Mr. Shah, what is the experience for the Traders Association at this point? Are you also feeling the pinch?
Well, everybody is feeling a pinch. Of course, the traders are the worst affected because we just saw on the mirror now, which I must compliment to all your reporters. They have shown the exact grassroots level how the labor is being job loss. And this is the same situation with the traders today. The smallest of the small traders, they are all depends on the day-to-day income and day-to-day sales. And today, the business is down by 50%. There are the days where salaries have been not paid for more than 3 months, 4 months. And on the 31st of every month, if the salary is paid, the staff is very happy because they feel that they got at least some amount to go home. But there are many of the shops, thousands and lakhs of shops, today they cannot be able to pay their salary to their staff, which is more than 6 months and 4 months, and eventually they have to leave the job because they have nothing else and they can't just keep on working without a salary. The similar situation, all the trades are having affected, but the worst affected is the trader body, and that is affected because of slowdown in economy. As on today, the richer section is the only government where they are getting all the taxes from the businessmen, traders, but the traders are not even making that kind of money to pay the taxes to the government. So as on today, the traders are worst affected, as our other traders, transport association said, the similar situation with the traders body also. 93% of the traders are today at the lower middle class and the middle class traders, which are doing a job day-to-day basis. They earn on day-to-day basis. 2-tier, 3-tier town and the villages are severely affected. Of course, the town, Mumbai city and the Delhi and other places, the overheads are high, they are affected. But the worst affected area is the 2-tier and 3-tier city and the villages. Today, the situation is that as on today, we do our sales, but our sales are not making enough to pay our overheads. Sales are not making enough to pay our salary to the staff. Sales are not making enough to pay even to take back home money to save. How the traders are going to pay any taxes? Today, the government is taking away the taxes, but the traders or common men are not making any money.
Okay.
They don't have anything to save. They don't have anything to take back home. And this is the reality of today's India.
All right, let me open this up right now. We have Anand Gurumurthy of the BJP who's with us. Mr. Gurumurthy, what is your response to the reports that we have brought before you? After you have spoken, I'll bring in the two experts on the economy who are listening very patiently. Mr. Gurumurthy, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things is what I saw was, yes, there is a slowdown and that everybody knows, and we are, the stimulants are being done from the government side. One of the things that I saw was when somebody was speaking, they told that Tata Motors have removed 1 lakh employees. But the truth of the matter is, Tata Motors, if you just Google and see the number of employees they have 87,000 employees entirely. So that data was a little bit wrong. Then there was one more data from one of the panelists saying that 15 crore people depend on the transport sector. Maybe he's counting all the families, not the directly employed people. See, so like this, we are presenting data here, but ultimately, there is a slowdown that everybody knows, and everybody is at it to push the economy forward. The government is at it by, supporting whatever it can. And, for example, some of the things like the poorest of the poor, Mangra, this thing, whatever stimulant had to be pushed, that is being pushed. And then the afforestation program has been taken up so that, the poorest of the poor are also helped in that. And 45,000 crores is being disbursed to all the states. So this will also employ more people. So all kinds of stimulants are being, pushed to all levels of sectors in the society.
Mr. Anand Gurumurthy,
so the government is doing its part.
Is it not true?
And what has to be...
Is it not true that a badly and a hastily implemented GST, that demonetization and complete denial by the government before the 2019 elections is what has brought us to this point today? Because you were going into an election, so you didn't want to, for a year, acknowledge that the economy was in distress. This is what we have today. These stimulants should have started a long time ago, Mr. Gurumurthy.
No.
No?
1 minute. If you see the Sensex and whatever fall we have seen in a day, if you see the historical data, you will see that the Sensex is still at the top. If you see 10 to 15 years data, then the Sensex is still at the top. So according to the data indicators,
Mr.
at the top of it,
that's not how the argument on the market
works. You're not
works.
laughing at it. Please see it. Please.
No.
You're not laughing at data, Faye. Please see the data. Please Google and see data. Okay, you just have to Google and see the BS Sensex and how it has been for the last 10 years. Just see the data. Okay, it's been at the top and it is at the top. It's just a fall of a day, and it is because of the numbers of last maybe 1 month or 2 months data. But see, the sectors are being infused. Even the government has told that it will purchase more vehicles. So this will boost the automobile sector. There is a lot of things happening.
Okay, so fair enough. All right, let me bring in the other.
Not just
let me
GST
bring in Ajay Dua at this point.
Wait. No. I just want to make one more point.
So the government also has to buy biscuits, shampoo, soap, all of these things you have to go out and buy then to boost all of the sectors. Now, why only cars?
No. See, FMCG sector industry. Please, you cannot compare unrelated things and say that you're right. Right? FMCG sector is, it's going on. You're talking about automobiles. You're talking about textiles, which, yes, government is doing its part. You cannot just compare, unrelated things and then say, laugh about it. No, that's wrong. You must let me speak about it, and then you can debate about it.
So I won't talk. I will allow the experts to talk. Mr. Ajay Dua is the former Commerce Secretary of the Government of India. Mr. Dua, first of all, we've brought reports from the ground that cannot be denied. Both of the gentlemen on the panel head respective associations of businesses on the ground, and what they're saying cannot be denied. Do you believe that the government's movement on this has been too late? And even then, very little has really been done.
I would think, Faye, that the government recognizing that there has been a slowdown has certainly taken unduly long. As you yourself mentioned, probably for the whole of last year, that's what the data, CSO data shows, that the growth had been decelerating. We've come down from 8 to last quarter 5.6, and the first quarter of this year 5%. Having said that, for the reasons we all know, that a government heading towards election I'm sorry, will not admit that very easily. But the question is now, then they come out with a budget which in fact deteriorated the position of several industries, including the stock markets, because the FPIs refused to be present here in any substantive manner because of the surcharge and the cess which became leviable upon a section of them. Now that post the, say, Independence Day, we've been seeing corrective action from the government, some general in terms of larger tax measures, depreciation allowances, FPI surcharge on being removed, some sectoral, particularly in the automobile sector, some in the FDI relaxations, and now last one was about the bank's consolidation. All these, I would say, are steps in the right direction, but let's admit that the relief they will give us is only in the medium term, after a couple of years, not immediate. And what is required now, and it's so obvious from the presentations made, that immediate relief, immediate succor is required to be given to people at the bottom of the rung, the people who live, who make a livelihood out of daily earnings. They are suffering the most, and they suffered the most in 2016 when we had the demonetization at its peak, or the impact of demonetization was intense. So I would expect, yes, while those medium-term, long-term measures continue to be taken, what the government needs to come out now is direct measures.
Right.
FDI
let me also bring in
time to come.
Yes. Let me also
India
bring in Professor
Kumar. Bright story.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Professor Kumar has been listening. Professor Arun Kumar is a very senior economist. What is your response at this point, Professor Kumar? Because the argument that the government is doing enough and it will turn around, like Mr. Gurmurthy was telling us, is perhaps dangerous, because what the government needs to do at this point is to listen to the voices who are giving them suggestions.
So, Faye, what I'd begin by saying is that the quarterly rate of growth of 5% doesn't really represent the true picture as painted by your earlier panelists, whether from the transport sector or the employment and the trading section. The data for the quarterly growth is based only on a limited organized sector data, corporate sector data. It doesn't even cover the full organized sector, much less the unorganized sector from where the traders, the transporters, and the labor that you're talking to are representing that sector. So if even these sectors are declining by 10%, not 50% as was said by your panelists, even if it was declining by 10%, it means that instead of 5% rate of growth, today our rate of growth is 0%, And that is why, the problems have been mounting, because if the rate of growth is even 5%, the question is, why is the investment rate not going up? Why is the consumption not going up? Where is this 5% rate of growth getting dissipated? If 5% rate of growth is quite a good rate of growth historically and compared to other countries, and both consumption and the investment rate should then go up, but they're not going up. So our rate of growth is only 0%, and that's what is consistent with all the problems that the economy is facing. So it began, as you rightly said, from demonetization and the GST, which is structurally flawed, and then the NBFC crisis. So three big shocks to the economy, which have impacted the unorganized sector, which employs 94% of the workforce. And if 94% of the workforce is impacted, then their incomes get impacted, and then the demand for food goes down. So farmers get impacted, and as farmers and the unorganized sector together are the largest component of the economy. In employment, if they go down, then the recession is bound to take place in the economy. So from the unorganized sector, the demand problem has come to the organized sector in the last 1 year, and you see the decline that has taken place. Professor? So the question is how to resolve the matter. For that, you have to have a package for the unorganized sector, and instead we are having a package for the organized sector. You know, stock market represents the organized sector, and because Mr. Manmohan Singh made the statement 3 days back, that has hit the stock market today. So even though economists like me have been talking about a recession for quite some time, but when Mr. Manmohan Singh says economy is mismanaged, I think that has a big impact on our thing.
Professor Kumar, at what point does it become a recession?
Where do you put your resources? Do you put it in the...
At what point does it stop being a slowdown and becomes a recession?
So when the rate of growth becomes negative when the rate of growth becomes negative for 2 quarters, then it's called a recession. And I have been arguing that the Indian economy has been at 0% or less for the last 3 years. So that's why I've been arguing that there's a recession and not just a downturn, you know. And that's what you're seeing today, whether it be in employment. So the Manrega demand, which shot up from 38,000 crores to 47,000 crores to 55,000 crores and now to 66,000 crores. And even then the RBI says that we are only giving 45 days work, not 100 days of work. So if we given 100 days of work, we would have been spending some like 1.3 lakh crores rather than 66,000 crores. You know, so people who've gone back to the rural areas are not able to come back to urban areas to the jobs that they were holding earlier. Similarly, the CMIE data shows that the workforce has declined from 450 million to 410 million. And these 40 million loss in the workforce is coming precisely from the unorganized sector. So all the evidence suggests that we've been in a recession for some time, and that is hitting the organized sector now. And that is what the government now recognizes, that the organized sector getting hit means the economy is slowing down. But I've been arguing that the economy has actually been in recession, and that's why the problems are there. And if we want to resolve the problem, we have to have a package for the unorganized sector.
Yes. Let me just bring in, Malkit Singh, Bal Malkit Singh, who was talking to us about the transport sector, had a response for what Mr. Anand Gurumurthy of the BJP said. He argued basically that we're mixing things up and we're getting our data wrong. Your response, Mr. Singh.
See, we are on the ground and we know what is the actual position. First of all, the spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. Gurumurthy, should admit to the ground reality as your reports by Anshuman and Ram Singh have stated. 15 crore people are associated, that is the fact, and which can be cross-checked anywhere. 1 crore, there are the commercial vehicles, and each vehicle have one driver, one conductor. Then we have the mechanics in our garages. Then we have the staff, and in which already Professor Kumar have also told that unorganized sector has been totally neglected. There is a 50% decline in the fleet utilization because as a transporter, as a fleet owner, we know the impact. We are associated with touched with the ground operator, that is a small road transport operator, as I previously also stated, that 85% is the small road transport operator, which is having a fleet of 1 to 5 vehicles. And there is a 40% NPA that can be cross-checked by you. And as 30 lakh job losses is there, which has been moved to the rural India. We have, since the 50% there is a decline in the fleet utilization. Our fleet is not moving. People have stopped. Now the small road transport operator are thinking for a mass surrender of the vehicles if the things don't improve in the future. And totally, Professor Kumar stated, I totally agree with him, that as an unorganized sector, it has been totally ignored. Package should be given to the unorganized sector to review the economy.
Mr. Shah, do you have a response to Anand Gurumurthy's statement from the BJP, or do you tend to agree more with Professor Kumar and Mr. Dua at this point?
No, first of all, the BJP spokesperson should say that there is a slowdown in the economy. He should admit that grassroots level people are getting a job loss. People are facing problems. People all around, whenever you go to the club, whenever you go to meet in the bus, go in the trains, everywhere people are saying slow down. Staff is complaining they are not getting their salary. Everywhere around, people know the situation. Then BJP spokesperson should accept, forget about 15 crores, 10 crores loss, or 15 crores people are affected. That is not the important factor. The important factor is that BJP spokesperson should accept there is a slowdown. And I completely agree with Mr. Kumar. Unorganized sector is a sector where the government should be dependent on. Today, our India is working on unorganized sector, which is a 93% of the people are working on a day-to-day basis. And today, we are suffering because of demonetization. 85% of our business is always on a cash transactions, and suddenly demonetization has affected. Those were the days business was on the top, and after the announcement, business has gone down, and it has never come up since last, whatever the announcement came. Demonetization is the biggest factor, has affected India, because Indian economy, it works on a cash transaction. Cash transaction doesn't mean that there is a theft, but cash transaction is because the cash is easily available to spend. Cash transactions are always done easy. And now the situation is that no flats are selling, there are no cars are selling,
Mr. Shah?
because there is no special income to pay the check. People had cash that time, so we used to pay that. Today the economy is affected because of demonetization. One more thing I must add.
Yes.
Just a couple of weeks back, one of the car sales guy has said, please buy my car, otherwise I will not get my salary on time. I have not been paid for last 3 months. Unless and until you buy this car, I will get my salary. This is the reality. This is the ground reality, and BJP spokesperson must accept this rather than doing a political vendetta, political things. These are all fine, but the grassroots level traders are not happy. Grassroots level transport people are not happy. These are the 30 to 35% of the trading community are talking to you right now.
All right, Mr. Dua, I saw your hand go up. Go ahead.
Faye, I think while my friend Professor Arun Kumar is absolutely right that the problem started with the unorganized sector and has now moved up because of the linkages between the two to the organized sector. If we talk of relief measures, stimulus, it has to work the other way around, that start with demand for labor, which this sector, whether be it transportation, as was mentioned, is a large employer, housing, construction, and those kind of sector, or health sector, the services, etc., all of them need labor, and the relief can be given much quicker to the organized sector. And let me just give an example. The GST needs to be revisited, or I would say almost all the rates of GST in a situation like this must be revisited to see how can we make products cheaper for people of items of daily consumption. Second, Manrega scheme, very rightly mentioned by Arun Kumar, that we need to make sure that our expenditure on Manrega is boosted drastically and more people are offered work. I would in fact add that we are sitting on a pile of food grains, particularly cereals, wheat, rice in our godowns. We need to use this opportunity of giving away subsidized, if I'm not saying absolutely free, food to people who in the urban areas, rural areas, through not necessarily fair price system, but through the retail system completely, because otherwise, how else would people survive or make their ends meet if they are able to get employment only on a sporadic basis?
All right. Okay.
Action is required to be done across the board, but it will have to start with the organized sector.
All right, we're going to leave this here, and like I promised, we're going to keep coming back to the economy, because I personally believe it is the most important developing story in the country, as it has been for 2 years. When on this channel we started talking about the fact that our agricultural sector was in distress, that our farmers were in distress, that our farmers were committing suicide. That forms the bottom of the pyramid on which all of us then build our lives. If that bottom of that pyramid has collapsed, if the rural sector has collapsed, then it would take a matter of time before it hits us. And now it has hit us. Daily wage laborers who are only getting 8 days of work in 3 months cannot feed their children. We cannot have this situation. The government needs to take more steps to reach out to the poorest, the ones in the unorganized sector, and find a way to save them from poverty. Moving on to a story that you